Hey everybody, it's Mike Venus, La Soul, and I'm back. Oh, oh, I called it. I called it. Anytime you're an anarchist, which I am, I don't like nobody trying to rule over me or try to feel like, you know, they're the law. You're not the law. Now, if I'm not breaking any, like, put it like this, there's God's law. If I ain't breaking God's law, I ain't breaking no universal law. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't violating none of the laws of the land, then what's it to you? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If I let people be people, let me be people. Let me be me. You understand? This individual, and like, okay, this is a guy. I feel like he's paying for his channel, right? For the views, because he doesn't have any sauce, you know what I'm saying? Nothing that's gonna pull you in, you know what I'm saying? I know I talk a certain kind of way, and I really talk like in pictures and shit like that. So like my language is very colorful. This guy is the complete opposite. He's pretty dry. And that's not throwing no shade, that's just how he talks. But he talks with this like authoritative like underlying authority, like, because I went to school for this. I sweat blood, sweat, and tears and mental stress for this. Peak the hairline. You know what I'm saying? And I done, bought or probably leased all this equipment in here that's like thousands of dollars, for people to pay attention to me and to listen to me because I majored in the organ and the piano, but I can't really do nothing with that. So I'm trying to do electronic music, but I'm trying to apply that into what I learned working on traditional instruments into electronics, and now I'm trying to tell other people how to do it. And I kind of felt like this was coming. He never said me, but I ain't dumb because I did a couple videos a few back where I was saying from an anarchist perspective. Now, anarchy is, basically it's about autonomy, it's about freedom, right? Rules are important, but if the rules don't serve any purpose in what you're doing, in this case, writing Counterpoint, because he's basically doing a piece about Counterpoint, right? And I never seen him do this on his channel. Ever. Ever. Right? Now all of a sudden he's talking about Bach. He's talking about counterpointing and trying to do it in the DAW. And it's like, okay, sir, I'm not working in the computer. I'm working on my iPad. And able to note app, you can't copy and paste. I wish you could. You could duplicate clips, but when I go to write, I have to literally write that shit in. You know what I'm saying? I can't just, I like this section. I want to copy and repeat this, because he's talking about feuds, which I'm not inspired by feuds. They're interesting. It's a great skill if you learn how to compose. But what I want to do, it doesn't really apply to that. So therefore, I don't really follow feuds or canons or, anything that, Bach did work wise. I put respect on him because he was willing to try something new in his time period. But I believe if he was around today, he might try pushing the envelope when it comes to counterpoint or even building up like complex chords, or even get it probably into jazz. You know what I'm saying? In conjunction with the new instruments and tools that we have at our disposal in modern times. He wouldn't be playing his old stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And it's really, I think, like, I don't know if he watched, he probably did, or his student that he claimed that inspired this video, which we don't know or see or even know who this person is, but okay. They probably saw what I was saying about Counterpoint and what I had made a statement about, like, I like the concept of it. I'm using synthesizers. I can't do 6 noted chords on a synthesizer because it's gonna fill up the whole space. And I ain't trying to sit there and be a surgeon trying to like cut up frequencies and shit. I want to simplify my approach without muddying up my mix. So I was like, okay, what can I do? I know I can make music with 2 or more notes played at the same time that forms some type of harmony, but I don't want to play chords. So that's what got me down the rabbit hole to look into counterpoint. And then I was like, okay, well, a lot of people kept mentioning Bach. So it had me go back and study that time period of before and during his time and after. And I realized that, okay, this is something I could get into and apply, but I don't want to do it to the letter like him because that style of music would not work in modern times with what I want to do. It's going to sound dated. So all I did was figure out the concept and modify it and do it according to how I like it. Now I know it doesn't fit the standards, the species. It'll be more like on the fifth species, but there is no countess fuse. No set melody. I might start out with that, but then I might build melodies off of that, and then drop that, and then have those melodies play against each other. You ever thought about doing that? It still work. Or doing like modal counterpoint, something that they were doing in the latter part of the Renaissance, leading into the Baroque period, where Bach was like heavily influenced by the Renaissance era, but he developed his style. You understand? It's just hilarious, bro. I'm not even mad, bro. I'm not even mad. I just knew this shit was coming. I knew. I just felt it in my spirit, in my soul, that it was gonna be somebody from that world that maybe they in debt. More likely they in debt. I'm just gonna be straight up. You go to music school, your ass in debt, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then like what sucks, because I done seen other people who are transparent in that world say like after they graduate, it's like it's hard to get a stable job in their profession. They deal with a lot of like mental stress, mental health, you know, and self-esteem issues because they've been built up to have this elitist mindset. And then it's like that. Think about it, bro. You're studying how to write music from a dated perspective, but yet you can't take that dated concept and make it modern because you've been drilled to think that this is the right way and this is the only way, and anybody that do it is not like doing it right. And you miss the whole point of being a composer, bro. Just imagine that. Imagine if Mozart and Beethoven, who also learned from the writings of Bach, right? This and their teachers who taught them was influenced by Bach's what was it? The species theory, first, second, third, fourth, and then fifth species. And they built their music off of that information because they came during the classical period, but they were influenced by the Baroque era. What if they just stuck to that and they didn't expand upon it or try something different or build upon it? They just stuck to it, just like these people do that go to these institutions, and their teacher just drill it into them that this is the right way. That music would never have. They never would have made the music they made. They never would be remembered because they'll be a shadow, an imitation of that which was before. That's why I said these people, man, they missed the boat, bro. I'm not like it's great. It's an amazing skill to learn about counterpoint, which helps to build upon harmony, which Mozart and Beethoven did. And even Bach, towards the latter part of his life and his writings, he went beyond just a 2-point counterpoint. But I'm choosing to use a 2-point counterpoint. I also like modes. So I want to apply modal Counterpoint, and I also like, what was it, pitch axle theory. I want to apply that too, but I want to apply it to a two voice counterpoint. That's not something that is taught in institutionals, music institutionals, schools, or they're not instructed in that way to combine these different things because they never thought about doing that or modifying it to make it sound more modern so that you can make something that sounds new or innovative but yet isn't really new because there's nothing new under the sun, while still paying respect to those people and what they did. you know I'm not competing with them. They can't compete with me, I can't compete with them because their work's already established. And I just throwed out the thing, if they were alive today they probably would be trying to modify it or build upon the works they did before. Hey Cardinal, I'm outside, see a beautiful cardinal and another bird. But yeah. So he goes on. I ain't gonna try to make this too long. Oh God. And he shows it with the MIDI. Now, obviously, if you've been paying attention, I've been going through this little Ableton thing with the note, and I've been applying this. Now, obviously, you can't read my MIDI or understand what key I'm in, and all this is intentional because I don't want anyone biting or copying me. You know, so to someone like him who's been taught a certain way, they're gonna think I'm doing it totally wrong. And plus, I'm not ashamed to say I didn't go to music school. I'm self-taught. But at the end of the day, if you never heard me say that and you just listen to it, you might say, okay, that sounds really interesting. And you think I'm gonna break that shit down for free on social media. You got me fucked up. They gonna pay me to break this shit down. And when I break it down, it's gonna rock their little foundation because it's going totally against what they've been taught in these schools. But it works. And it's my thing. Either you gonna hire me to make work this way, or you gonna hire me to teach people to do it this way. But you gonna pay me, bro. And unlike a lot of these guys that go to school for composing and want to make music, because if you're going to be a composer, I think you will want to make your own original works, to have your legacy, not emulating someone from the past, because they can do that with AI. All that music is public domain. It's up for grabs for AI. They can do it, But if you're trying to write your own original compositions and you try to make original music, which that is going to be the norm in the music industry when it comes to placements and things of that nature, because if not, they can just get AI. And you want to get paid and you ain't trying to like just survive off of air and water and noodles. You need to learn how to take the concepts that you probably learned in school and just modify it. And modify it to the instruments that we use today. See, somebody might think I'll do this video trying to shit on this man. I'm not shitting on him. I'm just adding to his thing. I'm glad that he's speaking on something of this nature, because it's something that most people who went to this school of knowledge, they have done videos on it, but it's years ago. Or the videos they're doing, it's not trying to create a modern approach to it. It's all bound up in that legalistic commandments of men type mindset, and it's not musical. It's suffocate. It does not flow. It's stiff. You gotta loosen up, bruh. And you're gonna have to put some respect on my name, because I told y'all if I find out and I see you posing, because you're posing right now, and you somewhat biting because you've seen this shit starting to get a little bit momentum, and it will. You want to get in front of the wave, but this ain't a little wave that you surf, my guy. This is a tsunami. Okay, I'm coming to wash many things away. Okay, you got two options. You know what I'm saying? You already know. You feel like you standing at 90, but you gonna hit that 180. You understand? You gonna have to put some respect on my name. It's Mike Venus. And when I say La Soul, you know, the sun, it's not proper, but I know why I say that. But you're gonna have to put a little respect on my name. And if you want to have like a conversation about this, we can. Anybody that go to school for this, I'm open for it. But that's my thing. It needs to be modified to modern terms and to kind of help people to think when they come to writing music. You could do this with chords, you could do this with 2-point, counterpoint, whatever. But I have my way of doing it. It's working, people like it. And yeah, it may not follow the rules to the letter, but it's effective. You understand? So with that, let me know what you think in the comment section. No beef with this guy, but I just find it very strange. His channel's been up for a while, and yeah, 2015. His channel been up for a while.